Here's your Storm Track 7 forecast.
Good afternoon, Eastern Iowa. I'm Storm Track 7 meteorologist Danny Cassidy. After a pretty big break for severe weather chances, we do have now one returning for us this evening into the early night hours. Here's the latest level 2 risk. You can see basically all up along, basically centered around the I-35 corridor through Kansas City, and then obviously through much of the state of Iowa, through Minnesota, and then near the Canada border. So right now, here's what we have for the timing. Main timing would start around 6 p.m. on our western edge, and then midnight, and although it might still be in our area at midnight, I think the biggest threat will diminish, losing any of that daytime heating, and you'll see that with the level 1 risk in our far eastern areas. It'll be kind of in that area around midnight, and I think it'll weaken a little bit as it does get there. The threats remain the same: large hail, potentially damaging wind gusts, and possibly a few tornadoes. Those tornado chances will be, I think, a little bit better for our far western areas as storms start to fire off, and then as it moves farther east, it becomes more organized. Yeah, we could still see maybe a spin up or two, but I think the best chance is going to be in far north central Iowa. This does include portions of Chickasaw County, Winneshiek, and a little bit of Bremer County. So with those initial storms on our far northwestern edge, a little bit of a better chance of maybe seeing some tornadoes initially. That remains the same with the hail as well. And you get these cells that are kind of alone or basically kind of far apart from one another. That's the best chance of tornadoes and hail. Not to say we can't see damaging wind gusts as well with these storms. You can see that yellow basically all across the level 2 region, but the best chance of hail and tornadoes are with those kind of single cells. And you see these kind of black marks, that means possible significant hail, meaning large hail up to 2 inches in diameter. That's a little bit bigger than golf ball size, and that will be the best chance with these initial storms. And then again, as they become more organized for our farther eastern areas, probably the wind threat will be a little bit better. So let's step through future track and time this out for you. So for this morning, we saw some heavier rainfall, or are seeing some heavier rainfalls, especially in our western areas near Grundy and Butler County. I think those will fizzle out a little bit this afternoon. But as I mentioned, along this cold front, they're going to fire off basically along and west of the I-35 corridor. We're going to see it form, and then it's going to start to move east, excuse me, in our neck of the woods. So I think about 6 o'clock at the earliest. Just depends on how early and how east these fire up. But you see that line of showers and storms. Initially, again, could maybe see those single cells, but now you're seeing it kind of more develop into a long extended line. That's when the wind threat is going to evolve. So here's 10 o'clock. Mainly in our northern and western areas here. Now here's midnight. Now remember when I mentioned that level 1 risk was for our far eastern areas? I think after midnight, they'll diminish a little bit in strength. They still could be strong with heavy rain, but I think the worst of it will be before midnight, and then as that moves through, still could see some heavier rain and more just stronger storms rather than severe. Then about 2 a.m. it does move out. That cold front will continue to move through. Maybe some morning fog for us Friday morning, but we will have a dry and mostly sunny day for our Friday. So to recap overall tonight, low temperatures in the low to mid 60s. And those storms are likely, and some may be strong to severe. We'll see a little bit of fog possibly as well, and then that wind shift from the south to the northwest. And even with that northwest wind tomorrow and that cold front moving through, it's still going to be warm. Temperatures will be in the mid to upper 80s, while mostly sunny skies. The bigger difference is going to be the dew point drop. Today, we could see some areas get as high as the low 70s, but I think much of the area will be in the mid to upper 60s. Then we'll go down the mountain here, basically down the roller coaster into the upper 50s and low 60s for Friday. Then we're going to bounce right back up on Saturday in the mid to upper 60s, and then bounce right back down in the low to mid 50s there Sunday and Monday. And you might be thinking Sunday and Monday, especially with lower dew points, oh, that's, we're not going to see any rain. Well, that's not necessarily true, because with that dew point drop, we're going to see a massive temperature drop from Saturday to Sunday as well. So the temperatures on Sunday probably only be in the 60s, and that will be ample moisture for us on Sunday to produce rain. So we do have that rain chance this weekend, especially on Sunday. We'll map this out for you. Your Saturday at 7 a.m., I think we'll start off with some sunshine. Much of the rain will stay off to our west, I think, during the day. Could see some isolated showers and storms Saturday during the day, but again, mainly it'll be off to our west. That turns Saturday night. That system starts to move a little bit farther north and east, and then especially Sunday, I think Sunday is going to be the wettest day we'll see throughout this entire weekend. You notice rain basically draped all across much of the Midwest, and this doesn't mean it's going to be raining for 24 to 36 straight hours, but there is some consistent rain chance, I think, on and off through the day on Sunday. So here's noon, and you can basically see the entire state seeing it. You see these darker greens, could indicate some heavier rain at that. For this one, not necessarily expecting severe weather, but maybe you could see some stronger storms embedded with this. But the temperatures are going to be cool, only in the upper 60s. And with those lower dew points, again, I don't think we're going to see the severity that we're seeing for the Thursday storms. Then this will linger during the day on Monday, and then we'll start to be wrapping up Monday afternoon before finally clearing out Monday night, and then we'll have maybe a little bit of sunshine for Tuesday. So your city-by-city forecast for Waterloo, Dubuque, Cedar Rapids, and Iowa City. So we have those storm chances today, mainly during the evening and overnight hours. Friday a break, Saturday maybe an isolated storm chance, and then we'll see it return for us on Sunday. After Sunday, as I mentioned, look at this temperature drop from the upper 80s on Saturday to the upper 60s on Sunday. So about 20 degrees there. That's why that mid-50s dew point is going to be good enough for that moisture. We'll linger on Monday, and then after that we dry out and finally become a little bit more seasonal with temperatures in the low to mid-70s.